Hello, this is Alan from Wave WiFi. This is going to be a quick video on what's called port forwarding, and we have that in our router products as well as most of our Wi-Fi receiver products. Why would you want to do that? Well, there are devices on your boat, such as camera systems, that might need to be accessed remotely. So if you need to get to something from off the boat on a different internet connection out in the world, it may not work automatically to get through to that device. Some of the newer things, they make a connection out to the cloud or the internet, and they establish that they're available through a company's servers that allow you to get back to a camera system or something like that on your boat. But if that doesn't work and you need to forward ports, you need to find out what port or ports you need to forward and forward them on the Wave Wi-Fi products. For example, right now we're looking at the router, one of our routers, and we're going to look at settings. And you have multiple tabs in settings. We're going to look at port forwarding. And we can add a new port for forwarding. Let's say, for example, that I had a computer that had a web server, because I'm going to use port 80 as an example, but it could be any port number, 8080, 3030, whatever your device requires. So I'm going to say web server as an example. So we want to set the ports that need to be, port reports that need to be forwarded. This is a range. There's public and private. Public is out in the world when you're connecting from out there. You're asking for port 80. Inside, it might be a different port. It might be the same port. So for this example, I'm going to make them the same. I'm going to go 80 to 80 because we're only using one port here. Private port on the network inside the boat is going to be also port 80, 80 to 80. There's two kinds of protocols for ports. And there's transmission control protocol, TCP, and user datagram protocol, UDP. Your product information or the company that makes it may be able to tell you which of these is needed, or does it need both. For this example, I'm going to use both. The IP is the IP address of the device inside your boat on your boat network. I can, for example, in Windows do ipconfig and find out what my IP address is on the network of the router, and this is going to be it right here, this 192.168.101.127. So hopefully I just copied that, and I'm going to paste that here. It didn't work. That might work by right-clicking it. Okay. So now I have a port forward added from out in the world, public, to a local IP address in the network of the router, both from port 80 on the outside to port 80 on the inside. So that's port forwarding on a router. Our Wi-Fi devices also have that capability. So we want to go in settings. This is a Rode Pro dual band, by the way. And I'm going to do the same thing. If you have a Wi-Fi receiver and a router, you might have to do it on both of them. And we have a guide elsewhere that we could send to you, but you may have to forward the Wi-Fi receiver since it's before the router from the internet point of view. You might have to forward this to the IP. I'm going to put port 80 to port 80 from outside public, and from port 80 to port 80 inside. And again, I'm going to do both TCP and UDP in case it needs both. I may do 192.168.101.1 because of how I was describing that. because from the Wi-Fi receiver point of view, it's forwarding to the thing that it's plugged in, which is the router. So the router is 101.1. So I just put a port forward rule going to the router on for port 80, going to 101.1, the router, and the router already has a port forward going to the device within the network on the boat. So that would, in essence, forward from the internet, from the Wi-Fi receiver to the router, and then from the router to the actual computer or device that has it. So that's pretty much how port forwarding works. And thanks for watching.